I can finally say I'm a world champion.
Welcome to Team Charles-Barclay's YouTube channel. In this week's video, you will catch a glimpse of Lucy winning the World Championship, Gustav winning the World Championship. It's going to be an amazing video.
They didn't just win, they made everyone else looks bad as well. Like 8 minutes and 4 minutes gap. That's insane.
Good to see you.
This is pretty cool.
No, it is. The theater's amazing. It's going to be 12 people.
First in. I'm not normally early, so.
Upgrade.
Right, Lucy from the UK, 28 years old. By the way, Lucy's birthday yesterday, just turned 28. Happy birthday. So you were 5th in 2019 here, you're 2nd in 2018. You got the European Championships under your belt. You went sub 4 hours there, which was fantastic. A couple second place finishes in Kona. In training for this race, has it changed at all over the years? Did you approach this race a little bit differently than you have in the past with your training?
I wouldn't say I've approached it massively differently. I think the big goal for this year was always Kona, so a lot of my training was geared towards trying to win that race. However, now that Kona's been postponed, all of my training has gone into this race, and I'll definitely be going all in on Saturday.
Go on either side of that.
Yeah.
And then you're back along here.
Back up this way and then
Tight
up this
turn
way.
in and then pop it on back.
Okay, yeah, so that's separating the in and out. Okay. Race morning, shuttle bus, I think it was like 4:30 a.m. It's still dark, climbing on the bus with the other athletes, just waiting to get to transition. Yeah, there was not a lot going on in my mind, to be honest. It was just focusing on what the day ahead will look like, which is pretty much swim, bike, run. Going through small little things like what I want my transitions to look like, what I'm gonna eat when and where on the course, how I might feel at each point in the course, and just got my music on, just trying to keep chilled, keep hydrated, run through what I'm going to do when I get to transition in the morning, and yeah, just trying to stay pretty calm.
Have a fantastic day out there. Stay safe, stay strong. We'll see you at the finish. The professional female field at the Intermountain Healthcare Ironman 70.3 World Championship is on its way.
There was definitely a point in the pre-race press conference when I did want to say I'm here to win, but I didn't want to get that confused with arrogance. I had a confidence and I believed that I could win, but anything can happen in a race and you can't control what anyone else is doing, so I didn't want to almost put that external pressure on the fact that Lucy said she's here to win, even though in my mind I was 100% there to try and win. The day itself probably just panned out like in a dream scenario where got away on the swim straight away, managed to get a great gap on that swim, extended that lead throughout the bike, and then got onto the run, felt really good and knew I wasn't under pressure, so I could almost enjoy the whole half marathon. But my game plan, I never thought that that was how it would kind of unravel, because like I said, you just cannot control what another athlete is doing. But fortunately, I was just having the day and my day, and just felt brilliant all day long.
When you've had enough, when the crowd gets rough, gotta stand up straight, gonna rise like a champion. When your cloud goes dark, when you lose your heart, gotta stand up straight, gonna rise like a champion. 'Cause we all walk to the same beat, and from town to town feel like giving in. Had enough, had enough, had enough. No matter how it hurts, you're gonna let it bleed. No matter how you feel.
The world champion!
When you've had enough, when the crowd gets rough, gotta stand up straight, gonna rise like a champion.
I would definitely say it is my best all-round performance to date. Obviously, we had some different conditions to battle. I mean, we were very fortunate as pro athletes to actually be on the run when the storm came in.
Where'd your head go when the storm came in? What'd you start thinking about?
I thought they better not cancel this race because I want my world title.
And actually, you can't really argue that it wasn't the perfect day when I managed to get the fastest swim, bike and run split, something that I've never ever done. And I definitely had a fire within me because so many people have always put a question mark next to my run ability. And it's always frustrated me because I know that I am a good runner. I go and run running events and win them, and actually quite early into my triathlon career I posted a pretty good half marathon run time. So I always knew it was within me, and it was such a frustration that I couldn't prove it to the world. On this race I finally proved I am a whole rounded triathlete and I can bloody run. That was one of the biggest and best takeaways from this race, is that I was able to deliver the whole performance. And I think that does make this performance so much more special, that I didn't just marginally win the world title. I absolutely went there and took it with both hands. Actually, this year has been all about taking every opportunity I have with both hands. I was having the day of my life. I couldn't be happier with how it all panned out, and not just for me but for my whole team. It's really, really finally get to say I'm a world champion.
That second crap. No more. None. Get that stuff done.
Yeah, I mean, I've been second place a lot at World Championships and I really wanted to win today. I turned 28 on Wednesday and what I really wanted for my birthday was definitely a world title, so I just went out there and gave it everything.
Well done. Yeah. Now we need a champion. Yeah. Gonna need a new champion with you next year. Yeah.
Well, Lucy Charles decided that she wanted to capture the sun and stand out and have a meteoric mark on the sport.
There were a few moments in the race where I definitely believed I could win. At the second out and back point on the bike where I had more than a 3-minute lead over Taylor Knibb and Daniela Ryf, I thought this is going exactly how I need it to go in order to get the win. And then as I continued to ride and still felt strong and was getting very minimal information, I didn't know what the exact time gaps were, but people were saying they're so far back, they're not even thinking about you anymore. So there were definitely points then where I was climbing up Snow Canyon, and actually Paula Newby-Fraser was in Snow Canyon, and she said, we can't even see the women. And when you're going up a climb, you know that the people watching could see for a long way, and if they can't see the people behind you, you can kind of gather that the gap's pretty big. I can't begin to believe I'm going to win until I'm like within touching distance. So even on that run, when I'm being told you've got a 6-minute lead and you've maybe got 5 miles left to run, there's still a point where it's like, but I physically have to get myself to that finish line, and things can still fall apart in that last bit of the race. So it wasn't until I was on the downhill, less than a kilometre to go, that I was like, I am actually going to do this, I'm going to get that world title. And that was amazing because I just lapped it up that whole last kilometre of the run and actually was able to enjoy that moment that I've dreamt of for so many years now.
She swam 24:36, rode 2:14:54, capped it off with a 1:18:48 run, a total day of 4 hours and 20 seconds. She is your female world champion, Charles-Barclay!
I think it feels absolutely unbelievable. Like, it hasn't even sunk in now, and I feel like I'm actually so tired right now. It's actually really hard for me to like express exactly how I feel and probably give enough emotion back, but it honestly does mean everything, because the difference between second place and being a world champion is like a million miles in terms of what it means as an athlete and what it means to the external world as well. Not that I really care what the external world think, but it's such a difference, even though it's like a finite line between second and winning. And I've always been satisfied with my second place finishes because I've known I've given it absolutely everything. And actually this is a mix of emotions, because it felt like I comfortably won. I won by 8 minutes, so I was never really under threat. And whilst I still continued to have a great day, I feel like there was potential for me to even give even more, but I wasn't put under pressure. So maybe there's still a part of me that has like this, I could have maybe given more, so maybe I'm not fully satisfied. So it's actually a weird thing going on in my mind right now, but the biggest thing is that I finally have achieved the dream of getting a world title, and I've come so close so many times. So at the moment, I guess I don't really know what to think. I don't think it's actually going to sink in until I get home, I see my friends, I see my family, and actually reflect on the journey to get to this point. And it's been a crazy journey this year, but actually it's not been a 1-year thing. It's been like well, I turned pro in 2016 and had an amazing year in 2017, and actually when I came second in Kona in 2017, I believed I could be a world champion then. So I guess it's been like a 4-year process to finally get that world title. So yeah, it does feel so amazing to finally get there.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to work.
It's done it a bit. So you might
I think you need to give it some oomph.
It did do it a bit, but not quite as good as they
Do it again from the wrist.
Oh! 11?
11? There you go. We'll do it that way.
Oh, so cute! Thank you.
You know we're going to have that when we go on the dog.
Yes, when we walk Lola.
So cute.
It's so cute.
Need some help if you let me.
Yeah.
I think they're going to ship it to us because it's so heavy.
That is so crazy.
They're going to ship it to us.
I want to see how heavy it is.
It's pretty heavy.
Oh wow.
In massive case, it's not going to go with that. So.
That's amazing.
So cool. First full day as world champion. Day after the race. And we're going to climb up the mountain and see some sheep. Winning.
Whoa, maybe we should talk for a minute. Then maybe we'd be getting somewhere. I just wanna love you a little to see where this is going. I really need to know, babe. Can we just
That is epic.
Wow, what a day. As most of you probably know, I've been runner-up many a time at World Championships, and today I hope that I would have a day where I could potentially go in and win a world title, which I think anyone who lines up at a World Championships, it's kind of in the back of your mind, could you win a world title on that day? And I just had one of those days where everything seemed to come together and I just felt like I was running on air, which doesn't happen often in your career. I don't think I've ever had a day where I felt as good as I felt today. So yeah, I'm just over the moon with that, and obviously I owe a huge amount of that to my team around me. The biggest person, my biggest supporter, definitely being my husband Reese, who believes in me more than I believe in myself, I think. And we were packing to come down to St.George, and I said, I have 2 dresses to wear for the award ceremony. One of them's just kind of average blue one, and there's a red one if I win. And he said, just pack the red one. So I just packed the red one, and I knew I couldn't really wear this if I didn't win. So, so yeah, I think that gave me a lot of confidence. Obviously, he put a lot into this trip. We went and trained at altitude, which was quite a big risk. I didn't know if it was going to pay off, and we had a very rocky road getting to the start line here. So yeah, I just couldn't be more happy with how today panned out. And finally, I'd just like to say well done to all of you age groupers who battled it out there. I think you actually had tougher conditions than us, and when I was out on that run course, seeing all of you on your bikes in that sideways wind, rain, lightning, I was like, God, I'm so happy that I'm running right now and not on the bike. So congrats to all of you, and thanks again for everyone, your amazing support out on the course. It just means so much. Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, I guess it was 2013 when I signed up for Ironman UK for July 2014, and yeah, I guess if someone externally could look upon me and say she's gonna go from absolutely no clue what she's doing to becoming a world champion in the space of 7, 8 years, I think they probably wouldn't believe it. They'd be like, no, there's no way she's gonna do that. Like, she's a complete chopper. There's no way she's gonna do it. I guess anyone who actually knows me and is part of the small team of people that I work with and can kind of see that day-to-day work that we put in, and it's not just me that works tirelessly, the whole team does. We have such a crazy work ethic and everyone does their part in that team, so I really couldn't do it without that team of people around me. Maybe from the outside looking in, people would just think, oh well, she's just talented or it's just easy, but I don't believe that talent is a thing. I actually get annoyed when people say, oh, you're just talented, because no, we have to work extremely hard to get to where we are, and actually a lot of it has come down to hard work, and I definitely wasn't talented when I first sat on a bike. So yeah, it's been a real mad journey to get to this point for sure. I do not think we will get another dog, but Lola is a very spoiled only child, and she probably doesn't want any brothers and sisters, and more, me and Reese travel so much to train, to race, to do our job, that I don't think it's entirely fair to lumber my mum and dad with another dog. So we're just gonna have Lola for now. When I retire, we will have so many dogs. We will rescue all dogs, and we will have literally a family of dogs, but we'll have to wait until then, and that might be a very long time away. Okay, so that has been a little wrap up of my world champion winning performance here in St. George, Utah. Hope you enjoyed this little wrap up, and as always, make sure to like and subscribe, as we will try and bring you as many videos as we can of our journey. And a special thank you goes to Talbot Cox, who was out on the course here in St. George and managed to provide us with tons of great footage of the day.
I'm an Olympic gold medalist and a world champion, but I didn't get this one, as Lucy and Gustav did.